Hi everyone, welcome once again to another episode of 8 Ounces of Inspiration. And today, the person that we have here shares a very similar journey like me, where he forayed in from something that he was pursuing as a family managed business into his area of passion. So today we have Narendra Prabhakar, who forayed into the world of architecture and interior design after working in the business of customs clearance and forwarding. Being a natural in visualization of what can be created in a space and his passion for architecture, he found his true calling, and that could not be ignored, and hence started the journey of Copper Crush. He's a self made entrepreneur. Narendra has been working with global and domestic clients for commercial, restoration, as well as residential turnkey projects. He's done resorts. His portfolio spans lavish residential homes on tough terrains in mountainous regions and hilltops, creating office spaces with character and functionality, to departmental stores designs, loft style apartments, warehouses, restaurants, and restoring, like I said, very old homes which have a journey, a story, and a character. So let's hear it from the person himself. So we have with him over here, and welcome to our episode, Narendra.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
And
much. And
we're so glad
yes,
that you took out time from your busy traveling schedule and you made time for us, because your journey is something I feel can be a source of inspiration to so many people who are on the fence a lot of times, divided between what is the cliched way to run a life or a business versus a calling that they have, which is so strong and they don't know whether they should pursue it or not. So maybe hearing from you, some of them will find reason and maybe semblance onto that it's time for them to maybe start to pursue their passion and live their life fully. So to start with, tell us, how did it all start?
okay. First of all, thank you very much for such a nice introduction to me. Uh, it's definitely good to look back and hear something what you could achieve in short span of time. The question being, how did it all started? I started pretty young. Working pretty young, and with just commerce as my graduation, there weren't many options, to start with. So the custom broker thing came, and you know, uh, I found that it was a good profession to be in, to support and to begin, because primary the service was the part which you were offering to the client, and it went off very well for good almost 30 years.
Wow.
But somewhere, yes, somewhere it was something that I had to do, and not what I wanted to do. And I would say I was fortunate enough that when the time came, I could switch over to the passion that I would, want to pursue, rather than a line which was important for me to pursue in order to, make ends meet and to come up well in life. So once the opportunity came, fortunately, my life partner, Anuradha, she is a great artist, and she had been doing, creating artwork and doing arty stuff all through these years. So she wanted also to come to a bigger level. So we decided that it is now time for us to, join hands and bring about a setup which we both enjoy working. That's how my transformation from being a custom broker to an interior designer and architect, or whatever, you're a creative person, really got wings.
That's so amazing and it's so inspiring because it takes a lot of courage to make that shift. And while I think most of us at some point in our life aspire to do it, but only few have are really blessed and lucky enough to actually have the courage to make that shift. And of course, to have support from your life partner can really help in accelerating that shift, right? So I'm glad you found that. So when you decided to foray into the space, because she was mostly an artist, and this is a much wider area that you was there unserved market or something that kind of inspired you or made you feel that look, there's a market for this? You know that there are so many, because there are a lot of architects out there in the market. There are a lot of interior designers. So what did you feel was missing in their work or services, which you felt could become your unique proposition or your niche to bring forward along with the other things?
Couple of things, in fact. First part being, what is it that I saw that was missing, and maybe I could, fill in. Um, Anu, my wife, she is a designer and an artist. And I realized that she was, giving consultancy to people who would want arty stuff in the room, or whatever place. So if it's a drawing room, they would ask her, what can we do, about the space? How can we add a couple of more seats? Or how could we, though she was a muralist at that time, doing wall art, and they would ask what kind of curtains would go well, what kind of tapestry would go well on our this thing. So we came up with this thing that doing murals alone is not serving the people enough. It is just the artwork, and they believe in our sense of design, that they would want more. So instead of them going to an artist for their wall art and finding another person for their curtains and for other stuff, it is best if we could amalgamate a couple of these things, and offer better solution to the customer. Would be the right thing to do. So that is how it got evolved. And we realized very soon that there are architects, there are interior designers all around, and their method and ours was different for one more big reason. We not only design a piece of furniture or design an artwork, we have our own workshop wherein we manufacture it as well, and totally custom made. An interior designer would suggest you, okay, this is where she wants a two-seater sofa, or a lounger, or whatever, and here is this shop. Let's go there and find out. And maybe a piece there, or piece in Germany or Italy or Milan, or in China, that is from where we can get and just place it there in the room. But with us, it is totally different, because for everybody, it is not possible to go around, searching for pieces. They may come across, the color may not go, the size may not go. With us, it was that we can make it exactly how you want, to the size, without going anywhere else. So that was probably our USP. The other part that we saw, um, not many good artists and good established interior designers and architects would venture into restoration works.
Mm.
There is a huge void. See, not everybody can afford to make a house. Not everybody can afford to redo a complete house. But there are so many people who would want one room to be done now, a drawing room to be done next, a kitchen to be revamped, and so on and so forth. There is a vacuum in that trade today, and no good, not good, I would say, more established architects and interior designers would venture into it, because they definitely have a level of their fee structure and all, which mostly people may not afford. So we did see that area in that market wherein we thought we can push in, and fortunately it has worked.
Wonderful. And you know what I like, I think where you really hit the nail on the head was providing one-stop solutions for everything, right? And it's so true, because it is so difficult to find, somebody who does your lighting, then you have to find somebody else who does your carpentry work, and then somebody who's looking for a furniture. So if there is company or there are people who can do everything for you, that you just walk into a ready home, which has been your vision or which has been your sense of a convenience that you provide to your customers. I think that's very, very important. And I think that's probably been one of the very important ways because of which you've been able to accelerate your growth, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now coming more towards with Copper Crush, moving forward, let's just take 10 years from now. If you close your eyes and you envision, what do you envision for your company? What do you envision for yourself?
Well, the way we started, from where we started and where we find ourselves today, it's definitely a momentum that is there now with us. And going ahead full steam, I feel that Copper Crush will be a known entity very soon, giving customized one roof solution to many across our country. Uh, Especially we've got some very good leads coming. We did one project in US as well of late, and it has been very well appreciated. So we are looking into two verticals. One is, the purely the furniture branch, wherein we would like to, custom make furniture, and the other one would be the artwork and the accessorizing of a particular area. So these are the three or two, you may say, verticals that we are looking into and wanting to develop it. And see, with our strength, which is our own manufacturing, our own under our own supervision, and our experience into this field for now, I think it is just a matter of time when we are able to, take our company to the level that it will be a known entity very soon.
Absolutely. Because I've seen some of your work and I think it's absolutely fabulous, and it's very functional, it's very aesthetically appealing, which I think is very important because a lot of homes I do visit and see, while they may be big and while they may have very fancy things, they're not functional. So, end of the day, when you live in a space, you have to think about how are you going to maintain it, how is it going to be a place where you come back to without stress and not wake up in the morning with stress that how I'm going to get this cleaned or how is this particular area going to be serving the space that we need. So I think that's been a very good, I think unique design that I see with y'all, that y'all marry the functionality really well with the aesthetics and with the person's vision of how they want their home to be. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of challenges that you faced, early on, and you continue to face. That's the journey of an entrepreneur. It just never ends. Something
Yeah.
new comes up with our growth, our acceleration. Can you just share one really major challenge that you may have faced, or something like a setback, which sometimes just makes you sit back and feel like, is it really worth it? Or, why is this happening?
No, I'll answer it in two parts. First of all, the thought that it's not worth it has never occurred to both of us, though there are n number of challenges. We deal with, once you try to make everything custom made, be it a chandelier, be it a piece of furniture, be it wood, dealing with wood or metal or whatever, different types of finishes, the challenges are there, and with your whatever resources, one may have, they will always be feeling short at some stage, at some point in time. So no, the challenges have never deterred us from questioning our own decision of what we are doing, why we are doing. But talking about one challenge, I wish, um, I don't want to get into the manufacturing part challenges or the counter part. That is everywhere with everyone, But I would like to reach out to a situation wherein people, when they tend to use you and wanting not to, pay you in general. That is one part which both me and my wife find it a little difficult to handle at times. Uh, for example, if the time allows, just a quick one.
Yeah, sure.
Somebody asks us, okay, we want a tea station. So how would you go about it? We say, okay, what is the budget? We don't get a clear answer. No, you tell how much it is going to cost. Okay. So we send a design. We ask for the sizes. What is the size generally, and we make a design. Now making a design, which I'm not copying from anywhere, I'm making it myself according to the size given, according to the aesthetics that we feel would go, and according to the practicality, as you mentioned, it has to serve the purpose. It takes time. It takes a lot of, brainstorming when you come up with the design, and we approach the client. The client comes for a meeting, or they simply say, okay, send it across. I'll just see if I like it. I'll maybe come over and then we'll discuss the details. We have no option but to send that design with all the parameters there, all kinds of sizes, all kinds of, and then for 2 days they won't call back. After 2 days, they'll come back and say, okay, what are the finishes that you are deciding to put on? We give them all the details, thinking, oh wow, they are liking it, what we have designed, because there are those couple of words, oh, we love it. So we are taken into it. So we discuss all the finishes and the timeline, and then comes the key question: how much it is going to cost? We give the cost. It's while giving costing also. Imagine what I have to do. It is not that I have bought somewhere something and I add my little markup and give you straight away. I have to sit back again, calculate the material that is going to go, and material prices changes, calculate the labor part that goes, and other paraphernalia. It takes time again. I come up adding my little margin, and I come up and share the costing. And that is when things just fizzle out. Uh, what hurts the most is after about some time you find out that though that design was made by someone else at maybe a little cheaper price than what we were offering. People do not realize it is easy to make once you have a print in front of you, when you have a picture in front of you. It takes time, it takes money to design a particular thing. So for me, this education for my clients, this awareness among people is what I find most challenging to overcome. I know if it's not that if I've designed, people would straight away buy. I understand that they have the right to reject. But when you see it being made,
Yeah,
that
it's
is
an
when it
ethical
all,
issue.
and by the time I've already spent about 3 days, my team has worked on it, and I have spent 3 days on that, only to realize that it is not being materialized with us, but with someone else on the same lines that we have.
Yeah.
So this is one part which I
In
feel.
a challenge. And this challenge, because I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, creative artists, I think it's pretty standard across all segments or all, because I work with clothes designers who are scared to put their designs or their clothes on the internet to sell, but that is the main source to sell, right? You have to put it out there for people to see and buy, because they know in 2 days' time a cheaper replica version of the design is going to be there. And they are constantly working with this challenge and this tussle that, Nidhi, should I even is there a different way to market? Is there a different way to reach my consumers? And it is, it's just a mindset of people that you cannot change. That has to come from our educational system, the ethics, the code of honor, right? And no matter how much you may try to educate others, it still goes out of the window, because people will find shortcuts and ways to just undercut or think that they're being smarter by doing these things, right? I totally understand and get your challenge, and I know it can be very frustrating, and I hope there can be solutions which can be created. And by the way, there are. And I will probably share with you some of the things that we've done, that we worked with other companies, which has not completely eradicated the problem, but definitely brought it under control to a large extent. And I think that really helps, because I think sometimes for creative artists to say no and to create boundaries is very, very hard. And if you don't do that, creating boundaries or creating processes where people know that, look, I can't take advantage, or I can't do this, it's not something that will be accepted. Uh, that probably can help to mitigate these things. All right, moving more towards personal questions. So I know your wife works with you, and both of you, and she's been working since the beginning, like you said. You have a daughter who's also into the design area. Um, I want to ask you, for me, this is a very important question because I advocate and I really live and believe in the phrase of that working is not optional for women, it's a must, right? Our financial independence is priority, it's a must. It's not about whether you need to earn, whether you have to earn, it's just that we must do it for our own well being, for our own identity, and for creating a purpose for our own life. So I want to hear from you. Of course, you are a father, you're a husband, you're a man, right? In your viewpoint, share with us, why do you think firstly that it's important for women to be financially independent, and why do you think so?
Uh, See, my views are very clear on this. Of course, you know, uh, just because she happens to be a woman should not be the reason to take away anything, which is otherwise available to the male gender. That's simple as that. Uh, they should. Why? See, you go through your education system. I'm a father, as you said, I'm raising a daughter. She'll be married, and then eventually, this is where I feel I place myself when I'm trying to answer this question. Uh, uh, my daughter has now gone through the drill, she has gone around, really worked hard when it comes to her academics and everything. We spend some money, raising the children, trying to give them the best education that one can afford. Why waste? If she is to sit home and just raise a family, that is not her only job. And why she should not be able to, and why she should not be groomed in the childhood, you know, that her life has a purpose. And the purpose is only not to just bring another life in the world. That it's a far-reaching purpose. And if you are capable, you are talented, which everyone is, which every human being has something in him or her to really make sense. One should be given an opportunity, irrespective of the gender.
Yeah.
Uh, this is my take. They should. And on the lighter side, husband and wife should not work together.
Oh, yeah. I can write a book on that after my
It
working
does
together with
become,
family
it does bring its own this thing.
challenges.
But again, on a lighter side, it is nothing more satisfactory, once you are back home with your better half, looking back and, enjoying your achievements, and especially when it is creative. See, we get small happiness, from very, very small things. Oh, I got the exact color. It may
Yeah,
be just on a piece, or I could design that corner which was creating a problem. So small things really get appreciated, and they do bring a lot of happiness and serenity all around, I would say.
I
But
hear
yes, the sync has to be there.
I hear you. I totally. In fact, one of the things that, especially after I moved to India and I've been meeting a lot of women, I work with a lot of women, some who aspire to do something with their lives and they don't know what to do. And it's a struggle for them because they don't, and this happens, I've noticed more so in two very wide areas. One, women who come from family managed businesses, business families where I think the thought process is, why do you need to work? There's
Yeah,
no
yes,
financial need.
yeah.
And then a lot of this comes from women who are struggling, maybe a little bit, I would say, where the income is a single income household, which is not able to meet the expenses of the growing needs of children now going to private schools and children having certain requirements on asking from parents, and the mother feels like, I wish I was doing something to be able to offset that, right, and contribute. And I've always felt that as parents, we need to nurture them in such a way, because women are nurturers. We are that's a core part of our being, that we must take care of our family, and I have a daughter, and a son, and I tell them both of them have spent a lot of time learning cooking, and this is something that's a given. It's not negotiable to put fresh meals for the family, boy or girl, to take care of certain needs of your aging parents, all of that. But at the same time, that's not entirely you. That's one part of you. And the other part, your entire well being cannot come together if you cannot nurture the professional side of you, the identity in you,
I'd like
And
to just add, or maybe just a little, this thing. Uh, Financial reasons. If you have enough, so you don't need to work, or if you have less, you need to work. I would like to remove this finance totally out of the context and bring about a person given more importance, a person's well-being given more importance, and the person's talent and an opportunity which is rightly should be available to a person be given more emphasis. See, if you have enough, you don't work only for money.
yeah,
There is so much more that goes on apart from earning money. If you have less, I think any husband or any father would go about, and make sure that there is food on the table, and whatever best they can do. If he gets the financial support from his life partner, good. But if he's unable to, even then it works. At least there is no force to know you have to go and work, otherwise we are going to die, or we are going to not meet those expenses. That should also not be the purpose, the force behind asking a female to come and get into the work. My emphasis would be that every female, like, should be educated, should be allowed to explore her own passion in a manner that, yes, that balance a woman needs to make, among children, family, and other stuff, which they are very well blessed with. They do it, without even us
hopefully.
realizing that how much it goes to you to be a woman.
Yeah,
Definitely. I mean, all credit there. Apart from that, if she wants to, it should be her will. You
yes.
know, if she wants to really pursue, and if she can make a difference in the office zone or in the commercial world as well, she should be given a
That
chance.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm with you. Great. So, I want to ask you, this is more about sharing with our viewers who are watching. Nowadays, financial planning has become a very big topic, and financial education, whether it's for an individual, whether it's for children, we always want to tell them that because of the growing expenses or things that are available, that you have to be very prudent with the money that you earn. So it's not about just the money that you earn, it's how well can you manage that money and grow that money, that can create a sustainable future, right? So are there any special things that you do with your financial planning that has really worked, and you can say that, hey guys, try this, and it, may work for you?
Finance is a very important aspect into any kind of working, and it is prudent, it is advisable that you should have a plan wherein it serves the best purpose. As far as I am concerned, very specifically, yes, I have a system in place wherein certain portion of it is put into a setup wherein it stays a little available and it grows on its own as well. So mutual funds is one, you would want to, put some part of it. You would need to be clear about this, how much it is that you need on every project basis to put back into the business, how much of the savings, how much of the revenues that you generate, or the income that you generate, what percentage of it has to go in a place wherein it is available to you as well, as and when needed. Apart from that, you rightly said, we need to be educated about what all options are available to an entrepreneur to raise money and to how to go about it. So it all begins uh, pretty early, I would say. That mindset has to be there, and I'll just touch a point later on, a little different but connected. Uh, One must be knowledgeable about his options of raising money. Banks are one. There are n number of schemes. If you have a project, they can definitely help you raise the fund, the capital that you need. And there are some other venues as well. But getting money, taking a loan, taking a limit is much easier than to really make sense of it. So that comes with the discipline, that comes with education, and that comes with a little focus on the core area, which is your business. The sideline that I would like to touch here is why we have, the black money circulation. Why? And if I just go back, where did it all start? I think our parents or our forefathers. That was the way of life. हमें टैक्स से मिलता क्या है, हम टैक्स क्यों दें? This mindset need to change now.
And it is changing, I think.
It is in a big way, but still,
Yeah, there's a lot to be done.
especially in my trade, we do get across certain situations wherein we need to educate them.
Yeah.
See, because you have a method which is, according to me, is
Yeah.
not correct. I should not fall in line with you. So
Your
that is,
studies have to take priority over.
yes. So this education should happen now from a very small age, when the children are just about there, instead of parents talking about how they made the money, how they see. Tax planning is good. You know,
Yeah.
Stealing tax, not paying tax, or trying to make ways how to go about it, educating your children on those lines is not the damn thing.
You need to have a good night's sleep end of the day by doing the right thing.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. That brings us to our last, question, which is, I would love for you to share, the last book that you may have read that really inspired you and that was wonderful, and share a quote that you live by. All of us have certain things that really stick with us. So share with us.
Well, couple of quotes. I hope I get them, in the next couple of seconds. The book that I really read and enjoyed and got inspired was by Robin Sharma, The 5 a.m. Club. Amazing. It really, really has changed, my way of my routine.
Wow.
Yeah, that is. And I asked my son to please read it, and they did pick it up. And I think Nia, my daughter, has already finished it. I'm still waiting for her review. My son did pick it up, and you know, I don't think he could complete. But that one book, has really inspired me to make sense of my time, uh, basically, and my routine, how to go about it. So that is one thing. Quotes, yes. I mean, one that I live by, not a big words, it's very simple. When in doubt, do it. This has helped. The best way not to be in a delirium or in two minds is to just do it and find out whether it has worked or not worked, because both the results will help. Either it will achieve the purpose or it will make you wiser, understand why
And
it has
your
not worked.
lessons. Yes.
Yes. So when in doubt, just do it is what I would
Yes.
say I live by. Yes.
Wonderful. That's great. So, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much for sharing so much about your life, your professional journey with the viewers. And you really are a very big inspiration, I think, for many who are, like I said, waiting to take that plunge. And like you said, when in doubt, just do it. And I think you've done it. And I hope many more of our viewers who are in doubt will just hear this and go ahead and do it. And I also want to just show a very strong sense of appreciation for the work that you all did for, I think, the Dehradun Municipal Corporation, the beautiful mural that you all created for the city. I think doing such beautification projects for the government and with the government just takes the entire work and elevates it to a different level altogether. And it's for the masses to enjoy, not just inside a home where your friends come and a few people get to enjoy the beautiful artwork, but here everyone gets to enjoy it. So I think I have to give kudos to both you and Anuradha for doing such an amazing job with that. And we definitely have a picture up here for everyone to see. But thank you for your time and have a wonderful,
Thank
wonderful
you.
year and decade. And may you um, far supersede the aspiration and goals that you have for yourself and your company. That's all we wish for.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
And I must add, you have been such a force, encouraging us. And I am an introvert. I mean, the way you have handled us is amazing. And getting this opportunity to talk about myself, my work, was definitely a good
Great.
experience. Thank you so much.